What's up, Giants fans? Back at it with another New York Giants video. And in this video, I want to evaluate Big Blue's undrafted free agents. Adding to the 7-man draft class, I thought the Giants absolutely crushed this draft. Definitely a top 3 draft, in my opinion, mainly because you trade back into the first round and get Jackson Dart on top of Abdul Carter, who, in my opinion, was the best player in the draft, and the overall depth and potential starters that they got in the later rounds, like Darius Alexander, Cam Skattebo, Thomas Fidone could potentially push Theo Johnson and be involved in some 12 personnel to tight end sets. So, yeah, definitely very exciting to see what's to come. But one thing the Giants didn't address in the draft that they addressed in the UDFA phase is the wide receiver position. Now, we know that Malik Nabers, Darius Slayton, Wan'Dale Robinson are the top 3 receivers on this roster heading into 2025. Now, after that, you have Jalen Hyatt, who's been a disappointment thus far. Hopefully, new QB play can help him out. Giants bring in 6 wide receivers. First up is Beaux Collins from Notre Dame, who actually played a game at MetLife Stadium this past year. He scored a touchdown there against Navy for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Big build, 6'3", 22 years old. Physical presence. He played in a run-first offense, so the numbers weren't remarkable, which might have been the reason why he was undrafted, but he had 41 catches for 490 and 3 touchdowns. Spent the prior 3 years at Clemson before coming to Notre Dame. As a Notre Dame fan, I think he has a really good shot to push some guys on the back end of the receiving roster. I don't think Beaux brings much special teams value, which is why I think likely he'll end up on the practice squad. But all in all, I think he's a good guy. Definitely give a chance to. Next up, Jackson Dart's college teammate, Antoine Juice Wells Jr. They call him Juice, 6-foot senior, bit of an older guy at 24 years old. Only played 1 year with Dart, but he's a physical possession receiver. He has Dart's trust, compact frame with well-built lower body. He's a grinder. He drags tacklers for first downs, and he has big play capability. He ran a 4.58 40-yard dash. Very, very impressive. 28 catches for 553 yards and 6 scores. 5 college seasons, and 4 of them he had at least 6 or more touchdowns. And he was hurt in 2023. So basically the 4 years he played the full year, he had at least 6 scores. Now, before Ole Miss, he spent 2 years with South Carolina, and then the 2 years prior to that with James Madison down in the Sun Belt. And then in 2021 for JMU, he was remarkable. He had 15 touchdowns, over 80 receptions, and 1,200 yards. So definitely a guy who needs to improve on his route breaks. That's probably why he went undrafted. And there were other receivers like Trey Harris and Watkins as well, who were just a little bit more seasoned for the NFL, in my opinion. Next up, we got special teamer Dalen Cambry from Louisiana, 24 years old. He's listed as a wide receiver, but he's more of a special teams ace, exceptional gunner, especially on field goals. Jordan Bly's the next receiver from Gardner-Webb, ran a 4.3, and yes, he's the son of former NFL DB Dre Bly, who's currently on the Jets coaching staff. Spent some time at Old Dominion as well this past year. He had 32 catches for 333 yards and 3 scores. Another receiver is Daquan Felton out of Virginia Tech. 6'5" senior, 213, scored 10 TDs over his final 2 seasons, ran a 4.5 40-yard, 16 bench reps, and this past season started 12 games, had 360 yards and 2 scores. He didn't play in the bowl game, but my personal opinion with Felton, I think he suffered from the scheme and quarterback play in 2024. Couldn't even tell you off the top of my head who the starter was for Virginia Tech this season. 2023, much better results. Caught 38 balls for 667 yards and 8 touchdowns. He played the prior 4 years at Norfolk State. So, again, older prospect, 6 years of college football, but he has a premium blend of size, length, and speed, which could translate to the NFL, whether it's on a practice squad or a 53-man. Vertical talent, and the Giants emphasizing more of the deep ball. I see they're looking for more size at wide receiver. However, he's a nonchalant route runner, below average hands. He has drop problems, but his size gives him a chance to stick around in the NFL, and ultimately that's why I think the Giants took a flyer on him. Now, the sixth and final receiver for now is Nate McCollum out of UNC. Gadget player, also a threat as a returner. So we'll see how that pans out. Next up, we have an offensive lineman, Jason Williams from Youngstown State, 6'4", 320. Started a program record 52 games and allowed just 1 sack in 12 games this past season. But again, playing for Youngstown State, he's going to have to try to stick on as a practice squad guy. We'll see if he does that. Next up, the one guy that I really think has a chance to make the 53-man roster is Makari Paige, safety out of Michigan. Giants did not draft a safety. Their only true safeties on the roster are Tyler Nubin, Javon Holland, and Dane Belton. Anthony Johnson is there too, but I think Paige has a shot to beat out Johnson for the 4th safety spot. I also love this guy's size. He's 6'3", $197, 23 years old, appeared in 53 career games, and he led all Michigan DBs last season with 45 tackles. Additionally, 6 pass breakups, 2 picks, and a blocked kick in 2024. All in all, I think the Giants are lacking safety depth. So I think with Belton being the only quality backup, that's why I think Paige might have a route to this roster, depending on how, camp and stuff go. RJ Delancey, another DB out of Wisconsin. He was teammates with the Giants' 3rd-round pick, Darius Alexander, at Toledo before transferring to the Badgers for his final college season. And that really hurt his stock, more of just a depth piece for Wisconsin, only 7 tackles last season. I don't think he makes the team. Jermaine Terry, tight end, pretty intriguing player out of Oregon State, 6'4", 255, transferred in from Cal. A dual threat as a blocker and a receiver. Could compete with Greg Dulcich and Chris Manhertz. We'll see what that could happen there. Edge rusher, Trace Ford. They went heavy offense and receiver in the UDFA signings, but one edge rusher here, Ford, senior, 6'2", out of Oklahoma this past year, 22 tackles, 1.5 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles. Been in college for a very long time, another 6-year guy. Played his 3 prior years in 2019, 2020, and 2022 at Oklahoma State. He did not play in 2021 medically. I think he can compete with Tamon Fox for a practice squad spot. I don't think any more than that. Next up, this guy I really like is safety Tommy McCormick out of Idaho. He's nicknamed Turnover Tommy. 8 career picks, 7 picks over the last 3 seasons. He had 4 in 2022, and he had a couple more in 2024, 3, in fact. So defensive captain, a guy that could really make some good tackles on special teams. He has the smarts. I think him and Paige may compete with Anthony Johnson. I think all 3 of those guys compete for one roster spot. I think the other sticks around on the practice squad. So hopefully McCormick sticks around. Next up, we have running back Rashawn Baker out of Elon, Victor, New York resident, local guy, 6', 225, big build, 9 touchdowns last year on 859 yards. And finally, offensive lineman RJ Perry out of South Florida, big guy, 6'6", but played in the American, not the best conference for college football. Hence probably why he went on as a UDFA. Rookie camp invites. So far of note, wide receiver Ja'Kai Douglas from Florida State, 5'9" guy, ranked 8th in ACC in yards per reception last season, finished as the Noles leading receiver in what was an atrocious year for Florida State. Jimmy Holiday, another receiver out of LA Tech, and then Red Douglas from Division II Findlay as well. Another rookie camp invite is a long snapper, Blake Arnault from Coastal Carolina, DB Isaiah McElvain from LA Tech, offensive lineman Eric Anderson from Western University, and Jeremiah Ojo, a defensive lineman from Montreal University. So a couple Canadians in there with the latter too. So all in all, it'll be interesting to see if any of these guys will stick around on the Giants roster for the upcoming season. But for now, they are part of the 90-man roster. They'll be competing for some roster spots. We'll see if anybody in that last group of rookie minicamp invites potentially, sticks around on the 90-man roster for training camp and preseason. We saw what happened with Elijah Chapman last year out of SMU, right? He was a rookie camp invite, got a spot on the 90-man roster, worked his butt off in training camp, shined in the preseason, he made the 53-man roster. So there is a route for, you know, one or two of these guys to really make some noise here, and we'll see who performs the best. I'm definitely excited to talk about it. Folks, who do you think are the UDFAs that intrigue you the most? I know for me, Makari Paige and Tommy McCormick, the two safeties, along with Beaux Collins as well. I think those are the three that really stick out the most to me. Make sure to give us a comment below. Drop your thoughts, smash that like button, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and I will talk to you all very soon. Without further ado, let's go Big Blue.